Science, they say, is about fact, about knowing. But engineering is about doing. You get to have your hands on something. Welcome to Engineering and You on Open State Television. My name is Lara Emmanuel. Today, as always, we'll be having two schools here to debate. They'll be here to speak for, other against. You do not want to miss any part of the debate. If you miss, then you do not want to miss. If you've missed, you do not want to miss again. I'll be back, and then when we come back, I'll be introducing the amiable judges on the program today, and also our very beautiful timekeeper. Please stay with us. Engineering and You, it is. Thank you for joining us again. If you're just joining us, trust me, you haven't missed much. Remember, this program is sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shina, FNSC, and also powered by Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch, where I'll be introducing our judges that will be deciding the winners and winners. There are no losers here. Hello, judges.
Thank you. Welcome to another episode of Engineering and You debate session. My name is Engineer Dr. Adekunle Musa, FNSC. Thank you.
I am from Nigerian Society of Engineers, and I am Engineer Lushino Bambili Agbaji, a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you too for calling judges. Those are judges from the Nigerian Society of Engineers at Abeokuta branch. And also we have our beautiful timekeeper for today. Hello to you, Grace Oyewole. Okay then, now we'll be kickstarting. Let the ball start rolling. But I'll be introducing the participant after this. Please stay with us. It is still Engineering and You. Thank you for joining us. Proudly sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilin and powered by Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch. So now we'll be delving into today's business. And to my right, I have Abeokuta Grammar School students here to speak against the topic. You're welcome. And also I'll be welcoming Funis International Schools. And the topic for today is renewable energy the best solution to Nigeria's perennial electricity challenges? That's a very big question. And we have the for and against speaking on the topic. But first, let's hear the rules of engagement from our very dear and amiable judges.
Good evening again, the students. Well, you're going to be graded in this order. We have your technical content to carry 40%. We have your review, that's the ability to counter the opponent points, and that's going to go for 20%. And we have your use of English, which comprises of the tenses, your mode of dressing, your composure, and your grammar. That's going to carry 40%. So altogether, it's 100%. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Agbaji. And now, let the fireworks begin.
Panel of judges, timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, and my audience. My name is Ifeoluwazoyani Foshe from Funis International School, and I stand there as the chief speaker to support the motion, renewable energy is the best solution to Nigeria's perennial electricity challenges. Renewable energy is energy generated from replenished natural resources like sunlight, wind, water, and biomass. Renewable energy is the best because it's the most effective and reliable source for Nigeria's perennial electricity challenges. Nigeria has abundant renewable resources. Do you know that Nigeria is located in the tropic region near the equator? So most parts of Nigeria enjoy abundant sunlight, especially throughout the year, making solar energy very, very practical. Nigeria also has major rivers like River Niger and River Benue. So hydroelectric power is also very practical. And then for biomass, Nigeria produces large amounts of waste like animal waste, agricultural waste that can be converted to biogas and biofuels and used to power electricity for places, especially rural areas. Now this brings me to my next point. Renewable energy, unlike gas and thermal plants, can reach rural areas. Do you know that according to policy reports from the World Bank, 45% of places in Nigeria are rural areas, and 25 to 30% of them are not connected to the national grid? With renewable energy systems like solar mini grids, we can provide electricity directly to these rural areas without having to wait for the national grid expansion. My opponents may argue that expanding the national grid is better, but actually it's more expensive and slow, while solar installations are more immediate and fast. Renewable energy also reduces Nigeria's dependence on fuel. Do you know that Nigeria's current electricity dependence on fuel is up to 70 to 77%? With gas and thermal plants, our national grid relies heavily on fossil fuels, and when it fails due to inefficiency or lack of maintenance, residents and the people have to rely on generators which use the same fossil fuels like diesel and petrol to power them. With renewable energy, we don't have to rely this much on fossil fuels, making it more environmental friendly. Yes, renewable energy compared to gas and thermal plants is more environmental friendly. Renewable energy consists. Thank you.
Today, we gather here to discuss a very significant issue that concerns our country, Nigeria, as a whole. Gas and grid reforms, they are Nigerians' present needs. You can't tell me that you want to power a factory with sunlight that sleeps at night. Yes, renewable energy may be part of the long-term energy mix for sustainability, but calling it the best solution to Nigeria's perennial electricity simply means you are ignoring Nigerians' urgent need for more affordable and reliable power supply. Well, it will be very wrong on my part to dishonor the dignitaries at the high table. So, wonderful day to Honorable Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, efficient timekeeper, my fellow co-debaters, and my ever-attentive listeners and audience. The humble speaker before you is none other than Olugai Boluwadran, and I stand before you to oppose the notion, stating that renewable energy is the best solution to Nigeria's perennial electricity challenges. If you take a look at all things, we discover that solar and wind, they all depend on weather. At night, on cloudy days, during Harmattan Aza, solar output drops sharply. Wind is also inconsistent in many areas in Nigeria, but the national grid requires a stable base load of power supply. Houses, factories, homes, and data centers can't rely on sometimes power supply. Also, most inverters and solar panels and batteries, they all come from foreign supplies. Solar panels, batteries are imported from abroad, which simply means high cost and total dependence on foreign supply chains. Yes, my opponents, they try to deceive my nation by stating that solar mini grids can power villages and homes in the north and in the south. But I tell you that that's a very great misconception. Okay, we'll see that renewables, they have problem with land infrastructure. I will leave the rest to my supporting speaker to buttress my points. Thank you.
Good day, honorable judges and esteemed listeners. My name is Shopola Antoniola, representing Funab International School. I stand here to reinforce my chief speaker's point and further demonstrate why renewable energy is not just an alternative, but the best solution to Nigeria's perennial electricity challenges. Just as a reminder, renewable energy is energy gotten from natural replenishing sources like sun, wind, water, etc. There might be many solutions, but why is renewable energy the best? To begin with, we must look at what is currently failing us. Over 70% of the current national grid depends on fossil fuels, yet this system is fundamentally fragile. In 12 months, the national grid failed 13 times, causing nationwide blackouts that forced citizens to spend heavily on fuel and generator maintenance. Places with renewable energy systems are not affected because once installed, the source of energy is free. Major places in Nigeria like Murtala Mohammed Airport, OOPL, Funab, University of Ibadan, and even the Presidential Villa rely on renewable energy, enjoying between 22 to 24 hours of uninterrupted power supply. Where the national grid fails, renewable energy systems thrive. My opponents may argue that renewable energy systems are not reliable because they depend on weather. However, there are batteries and storage systems that help store energy that can be used during bad weather conditions. Come with me, let us do the math. Association of Nigeria Electricity Distributors estimates that Nigeria needs to generate at least 30 gigawatts to provide stable electricity. Sadly, our current grid is producing just 4 to 6 gigawatts. Energy Commission of Nigeria also says Nigeria has untapped resources from biomass, solar, and hydro energy. Now imagine a hybrid solution where solar is capable of producing 8 to 15 gigawatts, biomass is capable of producing 1 to 3 gigawatts, and hydro energy is capable of producing 4 to 6 gigawatts. This gives us a total of 19 to 35 gigawatts. Nigeria could potentially meet energy demands In conclusion, when talking about the best solution, I believe we are talking about what solution gives more to the people and costs the people less. I mean, imagine a solution that helps reduce cost and helps with economic development, one that isn't harmful to the health of its users, one that actually makes good use of the weather instead of harming it by burning fuels. Renewable energy system is not just an alternative, it is the ultimate solution to Nigeria's perennial electricity challenges. Thank you.
If darkness was a school subject, Nigeria would have a PhD. Why? Because for decades, Nigerians have mastered the art of living without electricity. We charge our phones in shops, we run businesses with generators, and celebrate 2 hours of power supply like it is Christmas. And somehow we have accepted this as normal. But distinguished listener, let me ask, how can a country grow when its industries are powered by generators rather than innovation? How can students compete globally when many still study with candlelight? How can Nigeria lead Africa when Nigeria cannot even keep its lights on? Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Adenka Victoria, and I rise to strongly oppose the motion that is renewable energy the best solution to Nigeria's perennial electricity challenges. Nigerian electricity is not mainly caused by lack of energy resources, but by poor infrastructure, weak energy distribution, and bad management, especially corruption. The former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, once stated that no nation can achieve meaningful development without stable electricity. Sadly, stability is exactly what Nigeria still struggles to achieve. Firstly, renewable energy alone cannot presently provide the stable and large-scale electricity Nigeria urgently needs. Solar energy depends on solar system, while wind energy depends on weather condition. During rainy season or at night, electricity generation becomes weak or impossible. Honorable judges, Nigeria's electricity is too important for all hospitals, industries, and over 200 million Nigerians to depend heavily on an unstable weather condition. Nigeria needs constant electricity for industrial growth and national development, and renewable energy alone cannot presently provide such stability. Secondly, even advanced nations remain cautious about rapid renewable energy transition. Honorable judges, the fact that the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, distanced America from major climate commitments shows that rapid transition to green and renewable energy is still considered practically challenging and economically risky, even by advanced nations. If the world's most industrialized nation, thank you.
Okay, now my opponent has said so many times that renewable energy alone cannot supply electricity to Nigeria. But when we said the topic, we did not say renewable energy is the only solution. We said it is the best solution. So between other solutions, it stands out as the best. It is the best out of the rest.
My opponent also talked about how expensive this might be. However, in 2023, an electricity act that allows private investors and states to generate their own electricity from renewable energy systems was introduced in Nigeria. This has helped to reduce the burden of price on the government. Also, you said solar sleeps at night. However, there are batteries and storage systems that help store energy that can be used during bad weather conditions. Thank you.
My opponent also has said that the national grid mostly collapsed in most places. But with development and zeal for good governance in Nigeria, Nigeria will be able to implement all their zeal and passion to build a strong national grid that will help to generate electricity better for Nigeria.
My opponent once said that renewable energy, there are batteries and many other things that can power electricity if the sun sleeps, right? But now, let me ask, all these are too expensive. Imagine in Nigeria, where we are still struggling with basic infrastructure, how do you expect the government to jump into a very high costly project, and how can it serve the whole nation?
Wow. And now we've come to the end of the debate, such an intense one. I had a very splendid and educative time with both participants airing their opinions for and against. And now we'll go to the judges. Let's hear from them, the winners of today, and also learn more from them. Hello, judges.
Well, thank you very much. I want to give it to the two schools that have performed excellently. Either you talk about for or against, but let me just give you this, and so that you have it as something that you put in your pocket. Renewable energy is the best solution for rural electrification. Underline the word rural. We have rural and then we have urban. We are now saying it's the best solution for rural electrification, residential power, and small to medium businesses looking to escape generator costs. You can see what they are trying to see is where there are no generators, where there are no national grid, they have to escape from the cost. Now, however, it cannot be the sole solution for national industrialization. Nigeria realistic path forward isn't an either or choice. One, it is what we call hybrid approach. It should be hybrid approach. You can see that our presenter has given you different kind of renewable energy, and you can see when we have hybrid, you can actually get out of it. Now, using this massive natural gas reserve, like we have in Nigeria, we have a lot of natural gases, and to provide a stable industrial-based load, while aggressively deploying decentralized, underline that one again, decentralized solar to relieve pressure on national grid and power everyday citizens. You can see that both of you have performed excellently, that you are against or you are for. But the approach that we need in this country is what is called the hybrid approach. I want to give it to you. Congratulations as you wait patiently to know who the winner for this episode. Thank you. You're welcome. I'll give it to my colleague.
Thank you, Engineer Dr. Musa. I will do a rundown of the scoreline, and as it stands, for the technical contents, we have Abgs Grammar School scored 22.5, and Funab International College scored 24. For the rebooter, Abgs Grammar School scored 8, and Funab International School scored 11. For the use of English, which comprises of the tenses, the composure, the dressing, and the grammar, Funab International School scored 31, while Abgs Grammar School scored 29. So the total score to Abgs Grammar School is 59.5%, while Funab International School scored 66%.
Yes, in view of this rundown of the scores, you can see that the two schools have performed excellently. In view of this, I declare Funis Federal University of Agriculture International School, who scored 66%, as the winner for this episode. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the winner of today's debate, Funab International School, and also the winner, Abgs Grammar School. I told you earlier, there are no losers here. They're all winners. Okay, now let them exchange handshake. I was expecting the handshake to come with a smile, especially from the Abgs Grammar School participants. Live to fight another day. Really, that should be the mantra. Okay, really, as much as we have different options of renewable energy, the wind power, the hydraulic, the biomass, but is that really the solution to our electricity instability in the country? I'll leave you to ruminate on that particular question. It is engineering and you. Thank you for watching. But remember, the program is sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shino, FNSE, and also powered by Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta chapter. See you another time. Bye.